Hello, everyone. This is Sincere of Teacher Sincere's channel, and welcome. This is an impromptu video. I am currently working on a book haul video, and then I have two other videos coming. One of which includes has to do with the photo that's on my community page of an old African American gentleman. I will be doing something involving the group of pictures that photo is a part of. So, um, so today has been really, I don't know, it's been a great day. I really don't have so many bad days. I think because there are things that get on my nerves, but I understand about life. I've been here a while, and I know where to place my expectations and where not to place them. But today was really good. I got some good news, great news. And I'm really honored that I got this news, that I was told this. Um I mentioned in the previous video one of my students that's a Brazilian lawyer. His wife's an architect, and him struggling, battling cancer, and his cancer went into remission. And and so uh earlier this year or end of last year, because I've been teaching him now, I guess close to a year. He's one of my longtime regulars. He comes once a week. He lives in eastern Brazil, and he gave me a tour. I mentioned that he gave me a tour of his home. His home is a him and his wife put two shipping containers together. They designed everything because, like I said, she's an architect, and he gave me a tour. He showed me the interior of the house, outside, his three cars. He has two cars that he restored. Um, he's sort of enthusiast of old cars. And his wife, I haven't spoken to her. I'm not sure if she can speak English or not, but I have seen her and she's waved. I've seen her on the webcam. They were in the they have an office that they share with someone else at times. So they were at the office one day. He was doing his work and she was doing hers, and they were working together. And we follow each other on social media. We do on Instagram. So I've seen some of her work, which is impressive. Both the exterior work that she does and the interior, and of course her home. Are really impressive. I was so surprised to meet. I never met anyone before that lives in shipping container. Um, I've only seen it on YouTube. People that have um, taken and modeled their homes, from shipping containers. So, but like I said, he had battled cancer, and he's not old. I found out today how old he was because I was wondering. It's hard to tell with Brazilian people, with some of them, because I've got uh, three regular Brazilian students, and they are much older than I thought they were. I have one student, she is a lawyer, and she is 40, and I was thinking she's in her 20s, and she's like, "No, I'm a grandmother." She said, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not 20." And she mentioned about her, I think, that she was saying that when her I might have mentioned it on my community page in writing. She said that when her husband is out of town and he takes the car, she will ride her bicycle to work. I thought it's so neat. And she also, I was really impressed by her when I met her, because she said, "I don't do any social media. I don't have any social media accounts." And I told her, I said, "It's so admirable." I said, "I'm on social media, but I limit. Well, really, I've kind of lost interest in social media. I have a Twitter account, Facebook. I might post something every once in a while, just, I just see something on Facebook on my timeline because I follow a lot of pages, and maybe it's something from literature or travel or something really pretty home decor or something. I'll post it on my Facebook page, but I don't, really fool around with Facebook that much. I also use Facebook if someone wants to message me. But if it wasn't for that, I would not have Facebook. I would just shut it down again. This is my second Facebook account. My old Facebook account, I had like over 400 people. Half of them were people uh, that live here in the United States, I went to school with, family members, and the other half were people that I taught living abroad, or people just sent me a friend request that I didn't really even know. But and then I have Instagram, but Instagram I'm mostly now on Instagram. I just post stuff that's mostly connected to books and literature. I don't really put any personal pictures. I have some personal pictures up of my parents and grandparents and some stuff. My aunt's nature photographs, which I may show some of them in a future video. But I don't really, social media to me is like waste of time. It's good. I think if you have it for a business to promote your business or something, but I don't use it as a tool to get, social clout or anything like that. I'm just too private of a person. I'm not into that kind of stuff. But anyway, um, I last year we were talking because he had gone through cancer, and he was saying he did not want to. They didn't, they did. He did not want to father a child because he wasn't at this time. He wasn't sure. He was waiting because he was, waiting to see if the cancer might come back. And he had a slight scare a few months ago, but it was no problem. And he told me um they did a biopsy and stuff, and it was okay, it was benign, and he was saying that he was going to stop worrying about it. He was not going to let it, he just wasn't going to think about it anymore. He just did not want to live his life just completely under anxiety, and I don't blame him, because what's going to happen is going to happen, and it's nothing, and particularly in the case of you have something like this, it's nothing that you can really do about it. But cancer can come from stress, and being a lawyer, that is stressful. And also in Brazil, they don't get paid very much. If you're a judge in Brazil, he was telling me, and also another one of my students, you can make good income, but if you're a lawyer, it's just not that great. Which is, from what I know, I don't know the details of it, but I think it's similar situation here in the United States. But but he had told me that he did not want to father a child because he did not know if the cancer would come back, and he did not, he just didn't, he didn't want to, leave his wife a widow. He just, and as it turns out, he's young. He's 39 years old. Um, I thought I could not tell his age because the Brazilians, some of them, it is hard to tell their age. It looks like that a lot of them that are pushing 40, they look much younger. They look like 20 years younger than what they really are. I mean, the Brazilians are really interesting people. I mean, they are really interesting people. And there's so much diversity in that country. And himself, his ancestors came from Sicily. They left there during a famine, I think 100 years ago, to escape a famine, and they went to Brazil. And he was saying today that his family right now, they are the first generation that are that have prospered. But the news he gave me today was, I'm just blown away. I'm just so happy for him and her. And I hope that things will work out well for them. I hope that everything, that God will bless them, and that things will go well for them. He told me today, I was when I before the lesson, I was planning what I was going to do with him, because usually he just likes to talk. Because on Cambly, it's mostly, Cambly is like, if instructors want to just do conversational English, you can do it. It's open to that. But I do diverse level of teaching. I do everything from conversational English to reading to writing to exam preparation, particularly with IELTS. I'm only doing with one student now because she was already my regular student. I no longer work with TOEFL. I've sort of gotten rusty in teaching TOEFL preparation, so I don't even bother with that. I just work with IELTS. IELTS is an exam that if you, I think you use it for some universities, but it can be used if you want to immigrate. Also for jobs. It's to show your proficiency level in English. So students take it. But yeah, it is some universities, but you have to find out from the university. Um, well, these are English speaking Anglophone countries, whether they take TOEFL or IELTS. So I teach preparations for the exam. And, but anyway, so I teach diverse, uh, I do a sort of slightly wide range of teachings on there. But the news he gave me today was that I was going to prepare maybe something, something more structured for him. But I think he doesn't. I think he just likes to talk. I don't think he's worried about having a structured lesson. He just likes to converse, share ideas and stuff. So, and I correct his mistakes. If he makes mistakes, I correct them in the chat box so that he can see them. And I tell him, and he told me today that his wife found out that she was pregnant on Sunday. She went to the pharmacy and bought a pregnancy test, and she found out she was pregnant. And then I don't know which day this week she went to the doctor to have it definitely verified, get a blood test, and yeah, for sure she's pregnant. He got choked up and emotional. He told me, "Teacher, I want to be the best father that I can be, and I want my child to be." He said, "All I want for my child is to be healthy and to be a good person." He said, "I want my child to be a good person. I want to raise my child to be a good person." He was saying, and here in the world, we are the problem. He said, "I'm excited and I'm scared." He said, "I look at the state of the world and I'm just scared." And I said, "I don't blame you. I don't blame you." I never married, and I never had any children. One thing, my father really didn't want me to, because he did not want me. He knew the pickings were slim. The pickings for quality people are slim. Okay. I was surprised to even hear it. I was listening to a Muslim channel. There's a Muslim channel that I follow. Well, it's not the only one, but there's one of them I was following, and the Muslim scholar or teacher on that one, he was talking about marriage and all the things that you look for and that Muslim people should look for in a marriage, which applies to anybody. If you want to, if you are looking for a marriage, looking for something, have an understanding that marriage is the basis of a society, and you have healthy marriage, you have healthy children, spiritually healthy, and you have a spiritually healthy society. But if you have unhealthy marriage, where you have toxic people, narcissistic people, people that have been so traumatized that they cannot function, this creates problems in society. So, and we have a lot of that. We have people that are self-centered, only in it for what they can get. This creates a problem in society, and it creates problems for the offsprings of these people. And like he said, people are the problem. We create the problem in this world. And I always marvel when people turn their backs on God because they feel like He is the problem when they are the problem. When we as human beings create the, we either can create joy on this planet or we can create a lot of trauma and drama. Okay, it's not him. He's not the problem. He just put the laws there and we can follow them or we don't have to follow them. Okay, because we have free will. It's up to us. But anyway, but he was saying, I told him, I said that is perfect what you want. I said I admire you for that. I said because um I said, what we need are people that set high standards for themselves and for their children. I said, that's something that we lack now. I said, we lack it from every economic group. We've got rich people that don't care about anything but themselves and money. And they cause a lot of destruction in this world. And we've got everything from them to poor people doing the same thing. Poor people that don't care and feel like this is it. I don't care. I'm just going to live any kind of way. The hell with it. I don't care. I want to do what I want. And just. So we, and this is what why we have these problems in the world. So yeah, I think his goals are so admirable. And I was telling him about, and he's 39 years old. This is the first time he is a parent. That he and his wife are both parents. I don't know his wife's age. Next week, if I remember, I'll ask him what her age is. But they look around the same age, so I'm thinking they're close in age. And so I'm so happy for them. I hope that his cancer, that he will be okay, that she will be okay. And I was thinking about, I said that I told him about. I said I have a student I've been teaching, another student in Brazil. He lives in Rio de Janeiro state. My student who just found out he's an expectant father, he lives in northeastern Brazil. And my longtime student has been around longer than he has for like, I've been teaching him for almost 3 years, almost the entire time that I've been on Cambly. He became a father. It will be a year ago next month. And he was a first time father at age 37. And he and his wife, they were both, and she's also 37, but she's a few months older than him. And I was saying that you two, I said, I feel like he is the son I never had. I said, and he said, well, I'm your son too. He said, I'm also your son. And it was just so wonderful that he said that, because he had said in the past, he had said, I'm the greatest. He said, you're the greatest teacher in the world. He's just, I mean, he's such a humble person. I feel like I have two sons in Brazil. And if they were my biological son, they are the kind of men that I would want for my son, because they are humble. They are not puffed up. They are open and honest. My Brazilian son, my younger son, because he's a little older, he's a year older than him. He was saying that, people can be so unkind. And he was saying, I often pray for you and your mother that people don't take advantage of you. He said, because people take advantage of people in this world. And he understood, because he also has went through his trials and tribulation. And I was telling him about it. I said, I wish you two could meet. I said, I think you would like each other. I said, because he has been through a difficult time in his life, and he made it through. He is an electrical engineer, and he grew up in poverty. His father left his mother when he was very young, and his mother had to raise him on her own. And it was hard. And he was telling me week before last that I have many friends that did not survive. He said they're dead. He said they got into crime, drugs, robbery, and they're dead. They're dead, and I'm still here. I'm 61, and I went to school. It's a good many of my classmates that are gone. Too many died young. Some of them from cancer, different things. Um, but I'm just so happy for him, and I feel like I've gained another son, because they remind me so much of my one of my late uncles, and my last surviving uncle that lives two houses down from me. Not puffed up, humble men, not putting on a big show. I mean, they just say what they gotta say. They say what they say, and they mean it. They're not trying to put on a big show. I like humble, genuine people. I don't have any room for people that I find out that are not genuine, that are putting on a show for the public. I just don't have room for that. I know a lot of females, they like men that are, doing the talk and all this kind of stuff like that. And I never, just be genuine, just be who you are. And like he was saying, I want to raise my child to be a good person. I want to be a good father. And my other son that I've taught longer than him, he has said before, he said the most important thing is to be a good husband, a father. Um, his marriage, I think his wife is perfect for him. Um, I think they complement each other. He's an emotional type, she said so herself, and she's the one with the balance. She's the balance, and I think it's the Bible says something. Who can find a good wife? Yeah, who can find a good wife? Who can find a good husband? I mean, it's so rare and difficult like that. Muslim teacher was saying, even he said, even with Muslims, it's hard now. It's very hard to find a decent spouse. And I was surprised at that because Islam, true Islam that is practicing, put that are, a lot of the things are very similar, particularly if you study Eastern Christianity the way I have. You see there are a lot of similarities. Um, uh, People think of Christianity being a Western religion because they talk about Judeo-Christian, but Christianity is very much an Eastern religion, true Christianity. And you see it more in Eastern Orthodoxy. And you see more similarities in Eastern Orthodoxy with Islam than you do with Protestantism and Catholicism. But I was surprised to find that it's gotten difficult for people to find quality spouses now in Islam. And it's the times that we're in. But I think it's so wonderful that there's people still out there that know what really matters in his life. He was telling me, the teacher, I would give up all my money or everything. He said if I had to choose between being a good parent and my money, he said I would sell everything and give up everything because number one priority for me, he said, is that I be a good parent and that my child is raised to be a good person. That's the most thing, to be a decent person. And that's what we need. We need more people that think like that. And I think it's so great that he is thinking. We talk about serious stuff, about issues in Brazil, issues in my country, injustice. And he was saying that uh, about his child. It's just, I don't know. I'm just lost for words. I'm just doing this rambling. I like to do these rambling videos. I have a love hate relationship with doing rambling videos. But I think we need more people like this. Um, I wasn't, my grandparents were humble people. And I had two uncles that were one gone but not forgotten. One of the great ones, I would say, since 2005. And I have one left that lives two houses down that I think will literally give you the shirt off your back if you ask for it. Um, and I think about it. I was thinking the other day about an old movie, Goodbye, Mr. Chips. There were actually two versions that I know of made. There was one made in, I think, the late 1930s in England with Robert Donat, who's a good actor, old actor, British actor years ago. And then there was another one, I think, made in the 70s, maybe it was with Peter O'Toole, I think, played Mr. Chips. But Mr. Chips was a teacher, school teacher. And I read the book years ago too. It's a short book. It's like a novella. You can probably read it, depending on the person, read it in one sitting. But in the old 1939 I think it was made in 1939. I'm saying 1939, but I haven't researched it. But in the old version, Chips is dying. He's on his deathbed, and two of his colleagues are like, they're there with him, and they're like, I guess he was a lonely chap. Did he ever marry? He didn't have any kids. And the other one said, yeah, he was married once, but he was a widower. His wife had died. Um, and Chips was dedicated to teaching, like I am. I'm married to education. Education, bettering my plight, as far intellectually, spiritually, is very important to me. Sharing my knowledge with other people, helping my students reach their goals, that's important to me. And he was saying that they were saying, yeah, he probably was a lonely old chap. And Chips was dying, but I think it's been years since I saw it, but he was listening. He couldn't speak, but he was thinking, "No, I'm not lonely. I'm not lonely. I wasn't lonely and childless. I had thousands of sons, thousands." And he was envisioning all the children that the boys he had taught. He taught a boys' school, all boys' school, because back then it was like they still have it like all boys' school, all girls' school, in places like Saudi Arabia, and I think it's nice. I think it's good, but but that's another long story. But I'm glad for him, and I hope the best for him and his wife. We were exchanging on WhatsApp this evening messages. I told him, I said, you deserve all the happiness. I said, you and your wife, you deserve all the happiness in the world. I mean, I saw him today and I told him, I said, you look, I said, you already, I said, you didn't look old anyway. I said, but since you told me this, I was looking at you today. I said, you look like you lost 5 years. You look 5 years younger. He said, well, I'm not worrying about anything else. I'm just thinking about this. I just, he said, he said, when you're in this situation, it's just so hard to put into words. You just feel so much joy. He said, I feel fear though. Because like I said, and he understands the kind of world that we live in. He was saying people are the problem. He said, we are the problem. And we are. We're the problem. Nobody should be blaming God for anything. We are the problem. Because we set low standards. We decide that we're going to let our lives be ruled by greed and selfishness and entitlement and this sort of thing. And we are the ones to create the problems. We're the ones that decide I'm going to live for myself and I'm not going to live for anybody else. It's going to be all about me. And then when things go awry with us because of our type of mentality, our type of mercenary mentality, then we want to blame somebody else. And when we have only ourselves to blame. So, but I just wanted to talk about this. I did not intend to make this video this long, but it's just something I had to say. And I'm just so happy I gained two sons. I hope and pray, because I've talked about it with my other son, that I hope that I can visit them someday, and God willing, I will. It's in God's hands. I'm leaving it that. And also my older son that's 39, that's going to be a father. I hope he had already invited me and said, you can come and stay with us. And I who knows? You just don't know where life will take you. But I'm just thinking that when you're on this journey, don't hurt yourself and don't hurt anybody else if you can help it. Try to set standards and be the best person that you can, and to be a good example. And like my mother always says, which is a line from scripture, let your light shine. So I'm going to end here. This is Sincere Ray of Teacher Sincere Ray's channel. I hope you enjoyed this little talk and that you learned something. And until next time.